To join us to discuss more of what's happening in Romania is the Octave. First of all, Octave, hi. Welcome back to Inside the Air Live.
Hello, Finch. Thank you very much for having me again.
How's the weather? Yeah, how's the weather there?
Very nice. The spring arrived earlier, but the bad news, winter is coming back, so we'll still have some weeks with low temperatures.
Yeah, we were talking the other. We were talking the other day, and you're like saying it's cold. I'm like, that's not cold, dude. Come on, 46 is not cold. No, that was nice, beautiful.
Yeah, I was enjoying actually these beautiful days. 70 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere around there. So a bit warm weather. So we enjoyed that with sun. We needed that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move along now. You have obviously we've had Georgescu went in, who is the leading candidate for the presidency in Romania, and based on the latest polls in Romania, what would the poll or the take of the vote with Georgescu take if the elections were held today and he were actually being allowed to run?
Yeah, so the latest surveys showed us, because last time when I was here with you, we talked about, I think we were at the step where they canceled the election, and the next step we were waiting for the new elections to come, right? So since then a lot of things happened. In the meanwhile, Călin Georgescu remained constantly very big in the opinion of Romanian people. So the latest measured was around 62% of the people wanted for him to become the president.
Now, so he went in to apply. He went to record, or let's say, to register as a candidate. What actually happened to him when he went to register as a candidate for the presidency?
So chronologically, if we take it back and try to understand that, the day he wanted to start the procedures to sign all the documents necessary, they detained him in traffic, right? So on this moment, he was officially denied, and he cannot run again, right? But before that, they tried to, and they made him they tried to arrest him with some fake accusations. So they detained him during traffic, like he was a criminal. In normal ways, you just you invite someone, you have to go to police, but you detain him as like he was a grave danger for people around, right? So that's not procedural. It's only political. It's only political persecution.
Who honestly is behind all this? I mean, you're talking about obviously working with the intelligence services, local police, maybe your national police force. I don't know how your security systems are broke up in Romania, but who would be behind this? I mean, who is giving the orders? Literally, yeah. I mean, do we have names? Who's doing this that actually makes all of this start to happen?
Yeah, exactly. So as we live here in a actually semi-dictatorship, on behold to see everybody sees this right now, is the Minister of Interior, right? So he's responsible, it's Predoiu, Cătălin Predoiu. It's a Marxist dictator. He has the minister that controls, police and things like that. So he's the main problem, let's say, on that side. But if you
before you go in, I just want to walk this as fast as we can, but like in a different style. So you have, again, this Ministry of Interior. He is now in charge of the let's say the armed opposition or whatever against Georgescu. He's the one that's providing the guns to go after him. So then we go to the public side or the political side. Who could possibly, in your system, prevent a guy from filing a place to go in and to run for the presidency? Who has this type of power?
So nobody has this power. According to what they are doing, they don't care about the law at all. So it doesn't. If it says in the law something, they don't care. So, for example, Georgescu right now being.
Hey, stop! No, stop. Okay, they don't care. You're saying okay. So then, who's backing it up? Ministry of Interior?
No, France. Macron, yes.
Macron is the one backing this entire thing?
Yes, Macron and Ursula von der Leyen. And this is on the face. We know that.
Okay, I didn't know. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, let's put this in the context. Tell me, why did the French ambassador several days ago, before the rejection of Călin Georgescu, why did the French ambassador in Romania met with the Constitutional Court president?
That's why we're having you on the show. That's why you're on the show, man. We don't know these actual details. So now what you're bringing to the table is this. You have Georgescu has stopped. Basically, this has to be Ministry of Interior. They basically stop him in a very high profile, out of the norm, police style, Cheka style, a Bolshevik style stop. Then on the other side, you have foreign interference, which they're accusing Georgescu of France and Underlayen and I guess the EU, visiting your constitutional court people. So now it looks like your constitutional court people are also now heavily involved in this.
Yes, they were at the beginning from the first cancellation of the first elections. So because they were the one that canceled the elections, right? The Constitutional Court.
Okay.
So they done this coup d'état through the Constitutional Court.
It's a coup.
Yeah.
Which is what they did also in Brazil. They used the same technique in Brazil to take out Bolsonaro.
Yeah, well, all this spider web of the Marxists around the world, they infiltrated here as in other places. Again, as you say, of course, I think they playing the same cards. If something works somewhere, well, just copy paste it here. So they are here in Romania for the last 45 years, right? At least. So I don't know if I've said that last time, but the first person that landed on the Bucharest airport after the revolution in 1989, right after Ceausescu was killed, guess who it was? George Soros. It was George Soros. It was George Soros that came immediately in Romania with money, of course, and it started to create the open society, NGOs, and all of these Marxist institutions. So
it's interesting. It's interesting there is you're almost implying through inference, you're not directly implying, of course, but through inference, that the assassination of Georgescu was actually probably USAID, George Soros money. And then once you got rid of that, then George Soros fills the vacuum and then starts to create the NGO networks, the civil society networks, to ensure that they can infiltrate the entire country.
Yes, so we know this because the revolution process or trial that happened after that criminal revolution, that where people died then in 1989, So there was a persecution to try to understand who do that, who shot the with the guns, right? Who ordered military to kill civilian people and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we know a lot of things. We understand what happened to us. It was foreign interference, of course. It was from Hungary, from Russia, from CIA. There were a lot of interests for this.
You were like Jordan of the middle of Europe at the time. All the intelligence agencies were there.
And I think we are Syria for the Europe right now, together with Ukraine. You know, because Syria right now it's what holds that place, right? So Israel needs to destabilize Syria so that they can go forward. Through Syria, they were helping Hamas, helping all the states. So I think we have some similarities with this regard, but I think we're going a bit off topic.
Which is okay. Now go back to Georgescu now. He's been arrested and he has now been denied access to run. Who is really behind this again? I mean, right at the very core.
So from all the alternative news networks here in Romania, with all the information that we know from the people inside the government and services. So as I said, it's France. France and Brussels, they have the interest here in Romania. Romania right now, because of its natural resources, energy, petroleum, gas, natural gas, water, agricultural land. We are a very rich country, so they need our resources. They need our people to work in European Union for low wages. So this is why Călin Georgescu, when he's in his program, in his speech, said that he wants peace, right? He wants people to come back to Romania, to grow the nation with our people, with our knowledge back. That was a very threatening message for the structure of the globalists in Europe.
Okay, so we're at a crossroads right now. Georgescu has been denied the right to run for the presidency. What were the reasons they gave for that?
Oh, yeah, they accused him for 6 high capital punishment or crimes, right? Attempt to destabilize and create a coup, right? Now, how could he organize? They made in mass media. Let's say, I think the foreign press and foreign people don't know what's happening here inside. The pressure and all the lying that is being done by the mass media, Marxist companies. So they concocted so many different stories to try to portray him like he was trying with foreign French legionnaires to create a coup, but in the same time he was in the first position to win the presidency. So what logic does it has to create a coup if you are winning? You understand?
That's actually stupid. Just stupid excuse. You know?
Just stupid scenarios.
The narrative's a poorly written script. I heard that they was like, he was his statements almost this arrogant, childish. What we have in America we call the Jewish mentality, where like his statements made him. He's not qualified to run because he's speaking in a way that's not coming of a president in Romania, like some idiot in some boardroom somewhere. Some what do you call this? Not the in some agency is saying, "Oh, well, he doesn't say the right thing, so he's really not qualified to be our president."
Yeah, they try to accuse him with different stuff, including that he said that he was praying Putin. He was praying Putin and appreciating Putin because what he said Putin is a nationalist and loves his people. That's what he said. So he said that he's a great leader because he leads his own country for their own interest. So it's not something awkward or right, but it's something normal. Just to say something about. So they accuse him. So this is why they're trying to say that he's pro-Putin. They're just stupid.
But even if you're pro-Putin, you know what? That's fine. You're basically neighbors. You're not exactly neighbors, but economically, why would you not want to be friends with the richest country in your region? You know what I mean? You're rich on your own regard. Why would you not want to be friends with one of the richest countries in your region and work with them, cooperate, grow together, make a lot of money together? What's wrong with that? I don't understand people's thinking here.
No, well, yeah, I think they just are mean and trying to manipulate people. And actually, they're so stupid, these Marxists, right people, because Călin Georgescu is a diplomat as a career. Right, he worked at United Nations. He worked at the Club of Rome. Even though he did understand and spoke against them after he understood what happened, what is happening, what is the real purpose of these institutions. So because of that, he was a diplomat, and in his policies, he says what you said. Actually, he says we have to be friends with every nation, to have a diplomatic channel open, to try to have a dialogue. Without dialogue, we get into conflicts. If we don't talk, then problem arose.
It's common sense. I mean, this is just common sense at the end of the day. I mean, we're all humans, we're all people, it just makes sense, man. I'm not going to want to piss off, Russia for what? The Russia of today is not the Soviet Union. It's a different country. So we can move on from that. I think there's a big problem in Europe. They just want to keep playing the Soviet Union bogeyman over and over. Now, going back to Georgescu and the Romanian people, he is now disqualified from running. That's confirmed?
Yeah, that is confirmed. So the main question, he cannot run right now because we are in the dictatorship, and we don't know if we will get to make the second elections. Who knows what will happen? Maybe they'll say, the sunshine makes us to cancel again the elections. Who knows? So
where do the Romanian people? Where do you guys go from here then? You don't have elections. If Georgescu is not going to be able to run, you don't have elections because you're not picking out who you'd like to see run. Where do you guys go from here? I mean, what do the Romanian people do? Obviously, you'd like to get some help from Trump. A lot of us Americans are not happy with Trump right now with the way he's working with Russia and everything else. But where do you guys go? I mean, general strike, you shut your country down, you refuse to work. I mean, what's going to happen?
Right now, unfortunately, even though the sovereignist movement is growing and we side with Călin Georgescu, as I said, he would have won with at least 60% from the first round. So that's why they canceled him, right? The people are they're passive aggressive, let's say like that. So they would want to do something, they would vote for him, but many people are organizing in the capital, but not in the rest of the city. So this is one thing that Călin Georgescu said and complained about in a way, and said that you can't expect salvation from one people or from somebody from United States. It's us as people that we have to get an attitude and do something, not somebody to do for us. So if I should say in the what's going to happen, we have a second alternative, because as Călin Georgescu was cancelled and not allowed to run, there is George Simion. Right now is the leader of the biggest opposition party in Romania. He's the vice president of the European Conservatives, I think, with a lot of from the party where is Giorgia Meloni and other sovereignist and conservative European leaders. So everybody right now, we understand this. We make a common front, and we'll have to vote for him. So I think the Marxists from Brussels, from France, right? They're trying to attack him, and who knows what they try to invent about him.
What's the attitude of the people towards, like, the Ministry of Interior? Obviously, you don't have guns, but what's the attitude of the people towards, let's say, the Ministry of Interior and the police force right now?
Yeah,
they feel like they're...
Everybody on the street, if you stay and talk, the people that... you remember how it was in COVID times, when the families and friends were... they fought against each other, right? They were divided. So something like that has done. They polarized through the mass media, but the majority, as I said, at least 60 to 70%, we are on the correct side of the history. Like let's say like that. So at the level of the street, we are boiling. So, yeah, we don't know what will happen. Of course, we don't want to make violence or things like that, but we'll have to make a stand accordingly to what will happen. I know, maybe until the elections. We'll have to see.
We are going to go into a break here, so I want to get into more of the internal politics. We'll run some ideas by you and some concepts by you so you can educate the audience on a more local level. Everybody, it's the Fetch Inside the Eye Live with the Octave joining us again from Romania. Again, date is March 15th, 2015. We'll be back or 2025. I do that with dates. Anyways, we'll be back with more right after this. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the Fetch Inside the Eye Live. I don't know why that feedback hits me, but it does. Anyways, good Saturday morning to those of you. Maybe Saturday afternoon, almost everywhere now. It's 7:32 locally here in Riyadh. It's great because with daylight savings time, I come to you an hour earlier locally, and that's a good thing because normally I was finishing at 10. That's a late stop, and now I'm going to finish at 9, and that's just a little bit better for my night. 10 o'clock's kind of late to finish. So anyways, hello, everybody. Joining us again from Romania is the Octave. And the Octave's been listening and contributing behind the scenes for quite some time now, probably over a decade. Octave, how long have you been around the Inside the Eye Live?
Oh, I think there's 10 years ago, when I listened to you for the first time with all those guys that we were together there on that side with Zapopor, with Delcoa, and all the rest there. So since I knew that you were the guy that you put the finger exactly where the problem was, and you weren't afraid to say it as it is, right? Directly, not trying to say they're Zionists or trying to say they're Khazarians or things like that. You just
those are the days, huh?
Right. So I think
tell us another guy real quick. Emil Kozman. Do you follow this guy?
I think.
Do you know this guy?
No, I don't. I'm trying to. I think he's.
He's Romanian. He's a blogger. He's a video blogger on YouTube, got a pretty popular channel. He also is very clever in how he says things. He'll talk about Schickelstein and Goldman, and, he'll hint all over the place. He's actually very, very good. He gets it. He understands it. You'd love to get him on too, but he actually gets it. He's a fellow Romanian of yours and does a great job. Also, so it's not just the fetch anymore, man. It's lots of people now. We even got people from Romania they are doing it. So, anyways, people keep asking me to get him on. I just can't get him to come on. Just before we get further into this, we want to ask you about the new base that NATO is building, and how does this new base play into the hands of what's going on inside of Romania?
Yeah, well, this was a controversial topic during the first elections, of course. They were trying, and the plan was to make the biggest NATO base in the Eastern Europe, covering, of course, and reaching toward Russia and Iran. Okay, so because of the strategic position of Romania. And of the base, right? The base is near Black Sea, toward the east part of the country. So right now, we don't know, or at least in the public domain, there's not a lot of talk. But last night, for example, I can mention something interesting. On unofficial, let's say, information, it's vehiculated that said that the American troops from the base are moving out, and French troops are moving in. But that, as I said again, that's not official yet. Maybe it's happening, maybe it's not. I'm not sure, but this is what is being heard.
How dangerous do you guys feel things are in your Romania with the United States having the problems with Zelensky? I know from most of us on a patriot point of view, we want to see the United States completely drop Ukraine. We know it's a Jewish construction. We want out entirely. Drop it and just let Russia do what they need to do and finish. It's not our business type of thing. How do Romanians feel right now with the French and Brussels and Germany, talking basically war? I mean, trying to recapitalize the arms market, the militaries in Europe, and create their own little unified, which they can't do, but they keep talking. And so how do you guys feel about all this? Is it like worrisome? What's the general attitude?
Yeah. We don't want war. So this is what people understand this situation. We don't want war. We are worried about this. We are worried to send our children, to send our teams, right, to go fight a war that is not ours. The population is concerned, very concerned about this. That's why they wanted to vote for Georgescu, because he was promising peace. He was promising from the first day to stop any kind of help for the Ukraine. There is this economic instability, socially, right, with this war from Macron, that we see that Macron with Ursula von der Leyen saying that they need 800 billion euros to rearm Europe, right? So they're trying to provoke and make a war. That's what we're seeing. And that is why it's so concerning. So this is why Romania is very important from actually a global perspective.
So how much is the population? How much is your population?
I think right now here locally we are around 18 million. 80? I think we are the fourth or fifth in the European Union. So we are not such a small country. We are an important country with big resources. So this is a big reason why they want to continue to plunder our country. And by that, I mean especially European Union.
No, I haven't checked, but do you know, raw material wise, your natural reserves, how you rank in Europe?
Oh, well, depends on the. I think in the industry, it depends on what we are talking about. I don't have right now exactly the numbers. I couldn't say for you exactly this, but I could come with some information next time. So right now, I just can say this. This is again another reason for them to try to interfere in our intern electoral process. But
I've got the numbers. You're not so high. You're actually not so high. You're below Poland.
Oh, you mean by GDP?
No, by natural resources. Norway's number one with their offshore gas reserves. No, I should say that back. Russia, of course, is number one. They're considered still European, 75 trillion. Then Norway would come in with their natural gas resources. Don't have the number, but then Ukraine. So actually it's Norway, then Ukraine. Belarus, Sweden, Latvia, Estonia, Albania. Did you know Albania was so high? I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Well, on the shores of the Black Sea, there is a project together. There is they discovered some years ago a big pocket of gas, right? So I don't know if that's statistics where you are looking at, but we can say about this that we are rich on different kind of resources, from uranium to other kind of rare materials.
Okay, going to the politics now. I don't know if you mentioned this guy in the first segment. If so, you're going to give him another plug. Klaus, I think Klaus Iohannis is your current president, correct? Iohannis, is he the current president?
No,
or is he now?
Fortunately, we got rid of him. So his mandate.
Who then is George Simeon?
George Simeon is the president of the opposition party, the biggest opposition party. So he's
on. You mentioned earlier, Unity for Romanians.
Yes.
Okay, so he's now the runner-up after Georgescu.
Yes.
So this is the one you guys are kind of going in with. What is the current state of the political situation relative to protests on the streets?
So there were a lot of protests, big protests, especially in the capital in the last 2 months. The scope of it was to put pressure, of course, on the administration but it didn't work, let's say, because they had the backing of the external agents, right, from France and from Brussels. It didn't work. Maybe if you were even more, and that was the question here in Romania. We were asking if you were even more in the streets, maybe then something would have happened.
And then after this, how about international help? Who? I know JD Vance has come out and said a few things positive. Do you have any other positive words coming from any other leadership within either Europe or elsewhere?
Yeah, we have a lot of MPs, a lot of important diplomats from Spain, from Poland, from Italy, from Germany, from France even, in the European Union, and actually, as you see in the whole world, everybody's talking about Romania. Why? Because what happened here with the cancellation by the Constitutional Court affects the democracy, not only in Romania, not in Europe, but it can happen everywhere, because this Marxist spider web is everywhere as we know it, and they could use this where they want in the next time, right? So this is the war between the sovereignist movement, the Trump side, and the Marxist side.
Is Maloney helping to make any statements? Or Le Pen?
Not especially. We had from different, as I said. Let me see. Have you received that list? I've sent you some, but
a lot of it was in YouTube, and I just I don't have time to watch YouTube's.
Yeah. Well, it was. I don't have it right now, but it was a German MP that had a talk in the European Parliament that said about that. Matteo Salvini from Italy, again, he also mentioned directly the situation that's happening here. Yesterday when
here it is. I don't have it because it's on X. Let me see if I can find it quickly enough for you. The guy, this woman, is she the one? She's been hot all over the AfD. If the Romanian people choose Georgescu, why did the EU cancel elections and ban Georgescu from running? You know, that's.
So again, they tried to in that video again, but not only her. They tried several days ago to raise this issue in the European Parliament to have a talk about this situation. So they talked there about Syria. They talk on different subjects in the world. But they refused to even open the subject of Romania. And think about this. Romania is a NATO member, is in the European Union. So we have right now the status of hybrid democracy. The next step is junk. So we are between Rwanda, I think, and Botswana on the level of democracy, right? Something like that. So, there's a lot of people, as I said, yesterday, George Simeon announced his official candidacy, and next to him was the Prime Minister, or the former Prime Minister of Poland. I don't know exactly his name, unfortunately, but I have to look it up. But he was next to him. So we have support from the conservative and but what's called? Sometimes you have to excuse me, Fetch. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know the words.
Don't worry, I do the same thing, man, and I do this every week, so you guys are used to it. It's okay, man. I think the last guy, probably the most powerful guy, because I haven't heard anything coming out of Hungary, surprisingly. You know, since you're neighbors, I think, with Hungary, but is Fico out of Slovakia. He seems to be very much in your favor here in Romania, in the overall support for the Romanian people.
Yeah, again, another one. So there's a lot of, as I said, there's a lot of talk, a lot of support, even as you said, from, remember what G.D. Vance said at the military conference or security conference that was in February, I think. He talked directly about Romania. Elon Musk also says about, and all comments every time when something big is happening here. He has a comment and mentions the situation here. Let me add something different, or to add something new.
Yeah, so go ahead.
When Călin Georgescu, to see, so everybody to see how stupid all this is. When Călin Georgescu now was denied to run again, he wasn't denied by a constitutional court like the last time. He was denied by an registration office, right? When you go there and you have to sign and bring all the signatures required to run, their only job is to count the number of signatures to see if you have all the papers right, and to let you go to the next phase of the registration, right? So they're not a you have to help me right with this word, Dennis.
Adjudicator.
They're not a court to pass
they're not
sentence.
Adjudicator here.
Yeah, so they done this, as I said, without respect of the law at all. That kind of institution doesn't have power to do that.
To me, I know people aren't here for violence and all of this fun stuff. You know what I mean? But this is treason of the highest order to me. That person literally declared for himself and his constituency, whichever that is, that they will decide for the Romanian people by himself. That to me is highest level treason that you would literally have to hang somebody for, because you just can't allow this type of thing in a country. In other words, you can't allow people to be above the law so much that they decide for the country by themselves. Now you're not going to be able. We're not letting you in because you say things we don't like, so you're not going to be able to run. To me, Octave, this is highest level treason, because he literally has declared that he's deciding for Romania what is going to be Romania. Who are you? You know what I mean? Who's this person?
Yeah. So 62% in the last 5 days. In the day they cancel him, right? They refuse to write the second participation. In that day, the survey that I mentioned for you, that was made, the survey put Georgescu at 62%. So that would mean again around 8 million or 7 million votes. So 10 people decided again, 10 people decided that 6 or 7 million people cannot vote for one person, for that person. It's insane, just insane. Without
and I'd like
any
to, and really,
reason.
We should understand, honestly, historically, we should understand that person. That person should be recorded in history as making this decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
in other words, we have to go to this faceless, nameless type of thing has to go away. They call it doxing now, but this is a country. You know, that person decided who was that exact person.
well, on this
is what should.
On these cases there were 10 people, again, 10 people, like the next.
Even still, then all 10 of those should go down in history as the ones who decided for Romania that this is the direction you're going to have to take. All 10 of those people. I'm sure they're known. Yeah,
we know them. So, I think there will come a day. But again, this type of question, someone asked Simeon, for example, yesterday, why should we be so peaceful? Why should we not be enraged, right? And what he said that we are in a situation so bad that we don't need to push the cart further down the over the cliff.
Yeah,
so
it seems like there's a war going on between the globalist factions, of which they have control of Romania, and it looked like we could secure Romania. We can't get it, because now I don't look at it as left and right. I look at globalists and nationalist populists. And right now, we as nationalist populists, we're very close to seeing Romania come over to our side. And obviously the globalists have a different idea in how they're going to maintain power. Same true, I understand, by the chat room here, is happening in Serbia. Is this something that you guys are drawing parallels from?
Well, yeah, I do. I'm hearing that there are in Serbia some protests there for some time. From what I know, I think that is a color revolution there. Because, Vučić, the president of Serbia is Vučić, and he's pro-Russian, of course. So it makes no sense.
I get you.
Right? So who makes the protest? Who finances them? Who will win? What will be the benefit? It would be the benefit of Brussels. So that's how we are interpreting the situation there. I don't know exactly many things, but this is the main thing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because what's happening in Serbia is a little bit different because we already have a nationalist type of president, but they're trying to replace him with a globalist faction.
Yeah.
I kind of get it. Yeah. So I guess the final thing, we only have about 2 minutes to go here, is where do you think the next month takes us? We're already coming up into April very fast. Where's the next month take us? I think your elections are going to be May 4th, something like that. Where do you think this is going to go?
Oh, on a bigger side, let's say we hope it won't gonna start a big war. Let's hope not. In Romania here, I think they will try to cancel another one. I say they try to remove another nationalist with Simeon. They'll try to invent something. I think maybe they don't have so much courage right now. They would be pushing a little bit for way more than acceptable, right? Even in the European and international. They would exaggerate very much. So I don't think they will actually deny him also. The main thing, this is my main concern, and I'm saying this sincerely. I don't know, it is possible they will try to do something, at least here in Romania, to make situation of urgency, or that they declare national emergency and they could install or delay the elections. This is a real situation that could happen.
And then I guess we'll close it with, you have about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So
no, it's okay. That's the idea. We are fighting. We're staying strong. We're trying to do what's good to do.
And there's your break. All right. Thanks so much, Octave, for coming in. We will. All right. Thanks so much for visiting us and keeping us up to date. All right. Coming up next, I think we just go by the name of Hans. I'm not sure how we announce this guy, but we have a new guest coming in next week or next hour. So back with more right after this.